Our class started out looking for ways that we could positively affect our local watershed. We researched many topics but couldn't come to a consensus. We decided to go for a walk to look for inspiration. April, a parent in our class, brought us to the topic of lost waterways. She took us on a tour and explained the history of local rivers and the problems that have arisen from having these rivers underground. We realized that it was a perfect opportunity to research how this causes disturbances in our local watershed and learn along the way. It surprised us when we unearthed the shocking amount of problems that exist underneath our city.
Toronto was once crisscrossed with rivers and tributaries, and naturally, people settled around them for survival. People used them for drinking, washing, and drew raw resources from them. Unfortunately, with survival comes a higher population, and with that comes the need for more resources in the form of industry. And finally, in turn, these rivers became extremely polluted. As these rivers became increasingly polluted, they began to spread disease. The rivers were once a resource of life, quickly turned into a cause of death, and a really bad smell. People took action by putting the rivers underground. This seemingly efficient and easy solution became the cause of new worrisome problems. So I think that, I think it's really unfortunate that we have lost waterways, but I think it's a really good opportunity to learn. I think this project will bring awareness to kids who probably don't have any idea what it looked like before, what Toronto looked like before, and I think maybe we could even get someone to actually uncover all the lost waterways.
I don't think they should be underground because if we keep it underground and there's storms, the sewage will mix with our lake and our drinking water, and that won't be good for health problems and stuff.
How do you think our project will help?
I think it will be good to bring awareness that there's actually rivers underground, because I never knew that before, and I think it would be good to let the people know.
There used to be free-flowing water all over Toronto. But the government covered it up to make room for future development.
Why is it bad? It's bad to have the rivers covered because during storms the sewers can overflow. It's bad to uncover the rivers because it can disrupt local homes and businesses. It will also be quite costly.
Why is it good? Uncovering the rivers is a good idea because we will have free-flowing water which will attract natural wildlife, therefore educating the community. The rivers will also filter themselves, leaving us with clean water. If we take action now, there will be fewer sewage overflows, ultimately saving money. In the end, everyone will benefit from the changes.
The class got involved and started to take action. That's when we came up with the guided walk. The guided walk would spread awareness about Toronto's lost waterways. This would include directions around the Coxwell and Gerrard area where some of Toronto's lost waterways are flowing underground. We split the class groups and worked on different tasks.
One group started working on Google Maps to lay down our route. Another group started working on the movie, some adding sound files to the marked locations on the map, and another group began to work on the podcast. After we found a sufficient amount of landmarks, they began creating a map to all the locations.
The class began marking the ends of the rivers for the map. April came along and started helping alongside the class to get the groups into motion. The movie group also started filming progress. We were gradually taking steps toward the final product.
When we were done the main walk, we decided to make a separate walk that would focus on the evergreen brickwork. We decided to do this because the evergreen brickworks has demonstrated the practice of daylighting rivers and creating floodplains.
was why it was called Malcolm's Lane. This was actually the servants' entrance to
Flow system that we daylighted all the way down any of the overflow that comes into Mud Creek. In order to test out our Coxwell and Girard guided walk, we allowed a younger class to have the first crack at it. We decided to see what the students knew prior to the walk, so we created a pre-walk and a post-walk survey to see the changes in the students' knowledge of lost waterways.
Before the walk even started, we had a major problem. All of the stops didn't sync with the audio files. This delayed the walk by about a day, but fortunately we found a temporary solution. While the younger students were on the walk, the map makers were hard at work at looking for a solution.
During the walk, we interviewed some students to see what their thoughts were about the information being given, among other things.
Alright, what do you think of the walk so far?
I really like it. I like how we get to go from somewhere where we know where we're going and somewhere completely new, and we get to learn about hidden waterways, and I never knew that there was a river under Monarch Park, and that's really cool. I learned that we sure don't have the sewage and the rainwater mixed in the same treatment plant. It's just really interesting.
The guided walk was a huge success. The younger students seemed to like it a lot, and the results of our post-survey were amazing compared to our pre-walk. We also decided to interview a handful of students to see what they thought.
Rivers buried underground. Sometimes it's not just sewage water. Sometimes it's actually rivers. I learned about daylighting. Yeah.
About daylighting, which is uncovering the rivers underground. And I also learned what damage burying rivers underground can do. Yeah.
It was really cool to learn about how lost waterways are actually in our city, and that some of the places that I go on a regular basis are actually are near things like that.
These rivers deserve to be known about. It's a part of our city and we should bring them up for public domain. More people should understand more about this topic and take action as it's ruining our city's habitat. Daylighting these rivers also gives our waterway system a natural flow cycle, allowing natural filtration. So in conclusion, these rivers should be daylighted because we all deserve to know what goes on beneath our pavement. So let's raise a river.